Right then, this is a quick walk around video for a Honda CR-V 2.2 EX diesel automatic. It's a 15 plate car with just 34,000 miles on the clock, and it's got this lovely exterior pack which I believe is called the Urban Pack, but I'm a nightmare for this kind of thing, so please do check. I apologise, it's a really windy day today, so hopefully you can hear me. Coming around the front of the car, immediately obvious is the optional front grille on there. Front fog lights are there, chrome looking surrounds. The car itself is very clean. It really is. The only odd, very minor mark which you can expect to see on any car that's used. Come down the near side first, and it's pretty much absolutely mirror smooth on those panels. Can't see any indentations at all. And all the panels look lovely and original as well. You've got these really nice side steps from Honda as well fitted to the car. If we come around the back again, you've got this lovely angle for the car, the high level rear spoiler. And you've got this, the chrome inserts on the back there as well. And then offside, as with the near side, very smooth on the panels. Just to complete along the panel work there. Obviously, as I always say, there will be the odd tiny little mark on the vehicle that the camera doesn't pick up or I miss, so please do bear that in mind, because we thoroughly recommend people come to see the cars, we always do. But it's a fabulous looking car, it really is. Black with this kit, it's a very nice example. It's coming into the boot area now, absolutely huge boots on these CR-Vs. So just pop that away. They are massive. You've got those quick release handles there to drop the seats down, they tumble in one motion. And this one again nice sign of ownership. It's been fitted with the load cover in the back here. Coming into the back of the car now, again all in very nice condition. Absolutely huge amounts of rear leg room as well on these cars. And those front seats are set for me, and I'm over 6 foot tall. The leatherwork's absolutely lovely back here. Coming to the front now, again all in fabulous condition. Full set of original Honda mats fitted to this vehicle, and again all very nice indeed. Finally, just to come around to the front, again all been kept really nicely. And obviously electric memory seats on these latest generation CR-Vs on the executive models. All kept very well. So sat inside the car now, with engine running through this section, so you can see the dashboard illuminated. The dash looks pretty much as new, in all honesty, as they tend to do, because they're just so well made. You can see their sat nav working absolutely as it should. Pop the car into reverse. You get that lovely clear gridded parking camera fitted as well. But all working, as I said, exactly as intended to. Switch gears of the very highest quality, it really is. Come over to the dashboard binnacle for you. Hope you can see in there 34,889 miles, and there's no warning lights on the dashboard at all. Multifunction steering wheel, all the major functions: auto lights, auto wipers, cruise control, audio, voice recognition and information display, but all been kept wonderfully well. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Honda CR-V 2.2 EX diesel automatic. This particular car is registered LS15VMM, and mileage at the start of the road test is 34,884 miles. The reason we do these road tests is basically so anyone that's looking at this car online in an advert actually gets to see that very car in operation. It gives us an opportunity to give you feedback on the vehicle, of course, but more importantly to let you know of any issues there might be on the car prior to coming to see us. We're only too well aware how frustrating it can be to travel hours to go and see a car only to find out that it's got a fundamental fault you clearly should have been told about. So hence that's why we do it. It's also done on these lovely quiet country roads very close to our premises, so hopefully it'll be representative of what you feel yourself if offered a test drive. So the car itself, as you'd expect with the Honda engine, starts absolutely instantly and settles to completely smooth, even idle, no fluctuations at all. No warning lights at all on the dashboard relating to the engine or any other part of the car for that matter. Temperature gauge running at a third, which is exactly where it should be on a Honda car, whether it be petrol, diesel or otherwise. The engines themselves are just fabulous units. It's very, very smooth and refined. It's one of the smoothest diesels you're going to sit behind. But the power delivery is really lovely because it's got a lovely broad sweep of power, which is comes through the whole of the rev range of the car. It's not just at the start and at the end, or at the end. It's all the way through. But it's the way it works in just day-to-day driving, which is so nice because it works perfectly with the car. Loads of torque, loads of power, always available to you. Engine then feeds through into the automatic gearbox, which, as you'd expect from a Honda Auto gearbox, is really slick shifting. Originally came from the Honda Legends actually, because it was which was their flagship car, and that had over 300 horsepower. The reason they put it into this, it was the only gearbox they had which they believed could cope with the torque demands of the diesel engine. So it's kind of overkill really for the car. But having said that, regardless of reputation, it should still do the same checks, and that's just to make sure that when you select a gear, especially from neutral into drive or reverse, there's no sort of delays or thunks in engagement, and this one's absolutely perfect in that respect. Also on the move, the gear changes themselves should be very, very slick indeed, and this is exactly as they should be. The gear change there, you just don't feel it. It's amazing. It also has these little paddle shifts on the steering wheel rather. So one on the left goes down the gearbox, one on the right goes up the gearbox. Quite handy actually if you're looking to overtake a car. Automatics have a habit of wanting to change up as early as possible, obviously to save fuel, but they haven't got eyes, they can't see what's coming the other way. So if you're overtaking halfway around and it changes up, it can be quite scary at times. This means you just hold it in gear as long as you want. So if I pull this lever here, it selected me fourth gear, it'll change down, third, so I could then accelerate past something, keep my foot down, change up using this one. It's as simple as that, and within a few seconds it'll go back into normal auto mode, and the display for the gears you're in disappears as it's just done, but all working exactly as it should. Steering on the vehicle, real strong point on these CR-Vs. It's very dynamic. It's got a nice quick rack on it. The steering itself is very precise and accurate, especially for this type of car, helped by kind of a nice small diameter steering wheel. What I'm looking for on road tests is just any kind of wear in the steering that might have come through age. There's nothing. It feels tight and taut on the road. Track's absolutely bullet straight, and there's no vibrations at all that come through the steering wheel at this speed or any speed up to the legal limit. Chassis of the car, again, what I'm looking for on road test is just looking for signs of wear and tear really. And with the chassis, that normally shows itself as, you know, a few little clonks or thumps from underneath the car where you may have a bit of wear and suspension components. It's normally fairly innocent stuff actually, which is things like little drop links for the anti-roll bars, but there's nothing on this. It's absolutely silent in that respect. The suspension is also brilliantly set up for this type of car. It's Honda know this market fantastically well. I mean, they're the world's best-selling SUV manufacturer with the CR-V itself, and it shows, because what they've achieved with the car is something that some manufacturers really struggle with. They've given it a very compliant, comfortable ride, but when you come to the corners, it doesn't keel over a lot. It doesn't wallow through the corners, which can be really unsettling, especially for rear seat passengers. This is just absolutely brilliant. It really is very composed over all road surfaces. It's You know, really class act. The problem is you go with a very soft suspension, it'll be very smooth on the straight ahead, but when you come to corners like this, they really keel over, and if your kids are prone to car sickness, I can assure you they won't like that, but this is beautifully done. Brakes on the car, by the way, just to make sure no one's behind me, good old thump. It's basically the brake pedal's absolutely spot on, so my phone's gone flying off. What I'm looking for again is just any kind of brake judder or vibrations coming back through the brake pedal, and make sure the car is pulled up sort of straight and true, which this one is. Looking around inside the car, it's in lovely condition in here, and they're fabulous places to sit and drive a car. Great visibility, really easy dashboard to use. Although it's very highly equipped, you don't get lost in all the controls. It's very simple to use. It's also quite sensationally well made. Not a hint of a squeak or a rattle from the interior. You know, it feels very much like you're driving around in a new car, because there's just nothing there at all that would suggest it's done any miles at all in terms of any kind of age-related sort of groans or anything from the interior. And that's, you know, as I always say, that's real-world build quality. You know, years down the line, not just when they give it to motoring magazines when they're brand new, and they all feel well made. The car's, of course, four-wheel drive. Albeit again, Honda with their experience very quickly worked out that the vast majority of driving that people will be doing what I'm doing here and now, which is just driving on perfectly good roads and good conditions. So it just runs in front wheel drive, the most efficient way to pull a car along. If you've got a permanent four-wheel drive system and the four-wheel drive's operating the whole time, it gets to your tyres more quickly, you use more fuel, and it puts a lot more mechanical stress on the vehicle. If it needs to go into four-wheel drive, it does it for you. There's no switches, it senses it basically. So, because I do a lot of towing with caravans and sometimes across some wet fields, if your front wheels start to spin, it instantly brings in the rear wheels. It's absolutely seamless and very effective. And then disengages it just as quickly. It's as simple as that. And its simplicity gives it reliability. And we've been selling Hondas with this four-wheel drive system for over 28 years now, and we've never put a spanner on the system. That's how tough they are. As I said at the start of the video, the point of it is just to pick up on any issues, of which there's nothing on this car at all. And I've got no excuses. Both myself and my business partner Tony used to work for the local Honda dealership in Bristol, so we know these cars intimately. So if there's something wrong, we would know about it. And this car drives sensationally well, regardless of age or mileage, because I'm not giving it any allowance for that at all. Having said that, if you've got any questions, please don't hesitate to ask us.